Hi, so here we are, right? So the Wine Cellar Company, we're on our second wine tour again of English wines. It's 2022. I think last time we did it was 2 years ago almost, I think. So we're back on the roll again just before harvest time, get it all out of the way. And we're here at this place, Balfour in Staples, which is around about 20 minutes from my house. How lucky am I? We're going to have a little look around, have a chat with some of the guys here and report back. See you later. So hi, here we are at Balfour Winery in the Hush Heath estate. I'm here with Lindy and we're going to have a little chat about how it all happened here, back in 2002 I think ish, isn't it? So we'll have a little chat in 2 seconds. Was it previously owned? Who was it previously owned by?
It was owned by landowners who have actually owned a lot of land in Kent.
Right, okay.
And it was becoming slightly tired. It was a farm, livestock as well as crops, so it was getting a little bit tired. And it came up for auction in 2000.
Oh, okay.
So
Right, okay.
the boss decided, because his wonderful house, which is Hush Heath Manor on the hillside, overlooks the land, he was a bit interested about who was going to buy the land and if it would have any impact on, say, his house and his view, etc. So he went along to the auction with the purpose of just finding out who his new neighbours were going to be, and as you do, ended up buying just over 400 acres of land with no particular reason except that he wanted to buy it, so somebody else didn't.
So that's really interesting about the manor. I sort of get all that. It's fantastic. Good story. So how and why did Richard and Leslie really want to start making wines? I mean, it's hard work. So what was their inspiration behind that, do you think?
Well, when Richard went back to Leslie and told her what he'd done, I think she was slightly perturbed and surprised. And that's not what he said.
What have you done?
That's not the way he puts it. But you know, that was the outcome of that conversation. And they had no idea, because they're entrepreneurs. They had a lot of businesses, mainly working out of London. In 2000, they used Hush Heath Manor as their getaway, half the week here, half the week in London. And so when you buy 400 acres, it's not like extending a garden with a new lawn. It's something that really needs managing in one way or the other. So they had no idea basically at that time what they wanted to do with it, except that they knew they weren't going to run it as a pastoral farm.
Right, okay.
So one of the first things they did was take out all the barbed wire, etc. that was keeping the livestock in, and then sat back and thought, what are we going to do with that? And that's when the magic started to happen, because Richard liked, probably still does, Bilica Seman champagne, beautiful champagne from France, and he drank that mainly more than anything else. And it was Leslie who said to him, look, you like drinking this very high quality sparkling wine, why don't we try and grow some vines and make some? And he's never one to be daunted by something which is probably turned out to be much more than what he thought it was going to be. And he said, that's a brilliant idea. Now, it didn't just happen like that. They had no history of, they'd been in hospitality, but they didn't have any history of actually growing produce.
How do we start this?
Absolutely. And anyway, why would we start it with our other businesses? So the plan was just to almost grow it as a hobby. So they looked into how champagne is made, and the three main champagne grapes that are the most popular because of the amount of harvest that you get from Noir, Pinot Meunier and Chardonnay. There are 7 champagne grapes, I'm sure you know that. We do grow all 7 here, but the 3 that he planted originally were those 3 that I just mentioned. With the help of a viticulturist who told us whether our soil was suitable or not.
I was just about to say, because he's got all his land, and actually the terrier may not have been suitable for that, you know. Luckily enough, obviously around here we're quite good.
We've got a good seam of soil that runs through us and other wineries as well. Goes across the channel, ends up going around the Paris Basin, and then the next place it comes up to be of any significance is in Epernay, which is the capital of Champagne. So because he liked champagne, that was a no-brainer. So the vines were planted. He was going to make between 1,000 and 2,000 bottles for his own consumption, which doesn't sound quite like it sounds, because 1,000 bottles, you get through that quite quickly when you're taking them away to people, etc., etc. And I'm sure you know vines take quite a while to settle down. You don't get anything back from them for 2 to 3 years.
Absolutely,
and then it's
yeah.
only a
Yeah.
fraction of your eventual harvest. So it was quite a while. So 2004, he had his first harvest. Picked those. They looked good. Only 20% of what he would eventually get 7 years after planting, but picked those. Had someone make them into wine for him, our fabulous winemaker, but not here. We didn't have any of the facilities here to do that, so that was taken away to do that.
Yeah.
And then by about 2007, after he'd been on the lease for 3 years or so, he had a wine that was worth drinking. And we put it into the IWC, the International Wine Challenge, where it was tested in a blind testing, and we won a gold medal with it.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And this was
First
just
harvest.
was just the hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's really how it
Yeah.
all started, because how could you not continue what you started when you had that
just
much success?
Proving the fact that it's done so well that first harvest, isn't it?
Yes.
And how long? When was that first harvest? When was that?
2004, and then the first bottle was ready to drink in 2007,
Yeah.
stroke 8,
Yeah.
around about that
Yeah.
period, yeah.
So
That's
amazing,
what we
really.
were then.
Absolutely
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Shout the clouds about that.
I know.
Amazing.
But at that time, Richard and Leslie still had other businesses, and so again, it was just something that they did when they were down in Kent.
Yeah.
And really, that was the start of the story, and it's taken off since then. So we've planted successively since then at various different stages, to the latest planting, which is where we're standing.
Yeah. See, so these are all very young
They're juvenile,
vines.
aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what are you growing here?
So this is a mixed vineyard. Most of our vineyards are. We've only got one area that is just one grape or one vine. Most of them are mixed. We have red wines, Pinot Noirs, and we have Bacchus, and we have all sorts in this vineyard.
Yeah. So a complete mix.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, and we find that works very well. This isn't on a slope. This is in a bit of a saucer.
I was going to say, yeah, it's very, very sort of quite flat, really.
It is really, yeah.
It's really,
So a lot of preparation and making sure that we would be able to grow in this area was undertaken before we did it.
Yeah,
But we really wanted to plant something here to coincide with our fabulous building, which was extended in 2017/18, and so that our lovely guests and tours, etc., who are sitting outside or inside, can overlook vines and not a field.
Yeah, and that's what.
So, although originally it was for aesthetics, actually it's proving, as you can see, this is our second harvest we will have had this year. As you can see, they're looking pretty
healthy. So in a few years'
They're
time, you can have,
looking healthy.
you can have quite a good harvest,
We hope so. We certainly
Especially
hope so.
some of the stuff that's going to be harvested this year. With the weather we've had, I'm guessing the harvest is going to be fantastic.
Generally, in most of our vineyards, it's going to be pretty good this year. Of course, we've still got a bit to go yet. It's only the middle of August. We need a lot more vitamin D from the sun, so hopefully we're going to get that to ripen the grapes. A little splash of rain wouldn't go amiss, but
we do
at
need
the
a bit of
moment, as you know, we put vines under stress anyway. We never irrigate anything here, and we find that they put their roots out and they find their water source underneath.
So how much acreage now do you think, you're at capacity now, do you think?
Well, certainly as far as available land is concerned, we probably aren't at capacity, but for our purposes and what we are producing at the moment, which we hope is, most years, is between 400 and 500,000 bottles. At the moment, we feel we have sufficient planted on this land. We have a few parcels outside which we manage and look after, and so we can bring those grapes in to be processed here as well. But as far as the Hush Heath estate is concerned, currently I don't think we have any plans to plant any more vines here. That might might change, but at
Yeah.
the moment not.
Well, watch this space, as they say.
You've got to get the balance
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
You can't really exploit the land
Yeah.
all the time.
That's it.
And we've got a lovely mixture here of 100 acres of ancient woodland, full of biodiversity, of which we're really proud. We've got 35 acres of apples. The rest is wildflower meadows, great for pollinating bees, which we have in our woods, and the rest is on the vine. So it's quite a good mixture at the moment.
Yeah, that's a good
it's-
capacity actually, isn't it? Because like you're probably up there with probably Chapel and Denby with capacity.
Well, most of it is on
Yeah,
our land,
yeah.
as
Which is
opposed
quite nice.
to-
Yeah, everybody else.
Yeah,
uses other land,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, everyone does it differently.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
as long as the wines are quality, which they are from all of those places you've mentioned, then that's the main
Well, I
thing.
must say-
To fly the flag.
Oh, absolutely, fly the flag. I must say, guys, you know, this place is absolutely beautiful. Thanks for the information. Loads of
Pleasure.
information there. We're going to take with us. All I can say is, you know, it's the Wine Cellars tour again. We're back on it. Come down here and visit this one. It's worth coming down. You'll meet lovely people like Lindsay. Okay,
And
thanks very
lots
much.
of tours.
Yeah, lots of tours. Yeah, thanks. What a great afternoon we've had here at Balfour. Lindy, senior vineyard tour guide, and loads more stuff that she knows, has been giving us loads of details today, and it's fabulous. So I do recommend a great little start to our wine tour. Balfour, come down here, it's fabulous. Of course, the sparkly, there's still wines are fabulous, so it's worth a trip down. Staples in Kent is the place, and we'll see you on the next one somewhere.